I got it. I know where we're at.
Okay.
Go.
All right. Take 2. Here we go. Take 7. Who knows where we're at? My name is Neil Matthews. I am the host of Other People's Shoes, and I have the distinct privilege of introducing you to a very good friend of mine. She is a fascinating woman to know, and I am privileged to know her, and I'm excited to be a part of her book launch today. So won't you join us? We have a lot of fun, a lot of friends that are going to be coming on and talking about and celebrating this great release that you need to be a part of. So if you're not a part of it yet, hang around because we want you to be a part of it. So without further ado, Vana Johnson.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
How much technology can we have? How many hiccups? It's fine. It's all good. You know, here's the thing. We teach this at our church. We teach a thing called EGR, extra grace required.
Yes.
So that's what we need. We just need some EGR. That's all.
Yes. So anyway, such a joy to be here. Thanks for everyone for joining us. I am so excited for this. As you know, I've been working on this for a really long time, and we're here. Yay!
The finish line. We are at the finish line, right?
Yes. This is it. Yes. And you just came from a race, right?
I did come from a race, and so maybe that's why I still have races on my mind. But yeah. But Vana, I'm excited because I think, as I was saying, which I don't know if it came through or not, so I'm going to repeat it because I think it does bear repeating. I truly do believe this. I believe your voice is one of those voices that truly needs to be amplified. And I think that this book is just the culmination of that amplification, if that makes sense. Because I truly believe this, that what you're writing about and what you're sharing in this book really can change lives. But my question for you is why write the book? I mean, there's so many other voices out there that maybe could write this or should have written this, but why you writing the book?
It's a culmination of a lifetime of experiences. And I knew a long time ago I was going to write a book. And the seed was planted 20 some years ago, and the concept has evolved. And it wasn't until I dug in and really started writing it and working on my podcast and the stories that came through that, it was truly from the Holy Spirit. And it was spirit-led, and I just feel so blessed to be the messenger of this story. Now it's just, our world is so messed up, and I just feel that we all need to take a step back and get back to the foundation of our faith. And that's really what A Different View is all about. It's about stop looking at the things from a worldview, look at it from a biblical perspective, stop the fighting, the bickering, the judging, the everything, and look at it from the way God wants us to. Yes, sin is sin, but it's also, we're doing it wrong. We're being really hurtful, and we need to get back to love and kindness.
What was the hardest chapter for you to write?
You know what, Neil? I apologize, but because we are so late into the game, we have one of our guests.
Yeah, absolutely.
Needs to get hopping, and so I really, really want to respect her time. We have a couple of videos that we were going to show right off the bat, but let's go ahead and bring Niccie on quick,
absolutely,
so that we can get her back to her schedule, and then we'll regroup and hop back on. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, there she is.
There she is. She's muted.
You're muted, Niccie. Can you? There she is.
I'm good. All right. So, Vana, talk about working good under pressure. Man alive, I was impressed by that. And I'm not real sure. I don't know if the people listening are real sure if you still are hearing rebound and acting like you are. You still are.
I am not.
Good.
I'm good. I'm going to try and disassemble some of this and see if it's working now. But yes,
I don't know. I would not. don't touch a thing. If it's
Okay.
working,
All
I
right.
think you look awesome. I'm
Fantastic,
really
right?
impressed with Neil.
Yes.
Like, you guys, this is awesome. But yeah, I feel like it's an honor that you would ask me to even say a word about you. You are precious. And I loved every single second I've had to work with you. I love the idea of a different view of looking at things like this world. I don't know. We all get to decide what's real, I guess. That's the way it is these days. And you're doing such a good job at helping people know really that there is one view that works all the time, and I guess we get to decide if we want to do it the hard way or not. But I would say, I watched you take this, what you felt like God put on your heart, and turn it into something that can impact the world. And you want to do it in a way that is full of grace. And I think if there's people out there that are in places of question, or maybe they're hearing views that it's not sitting right with them, or maybe they're just like, I need a fresh look at things. The way you wove it into, I had the privilege, that they might not know, but I had the privilege of seeing her build out her courses and build her mastermind concepts and everything. And to just see what an powerful pack of stuff that is. I want to do it. I want to join your mastermind, but I know that just getting the book alone or being around you, Vana, is an experience in itself. I don't know. I just feel like it's nothing but a privilege, and even being here today to be able to see you under pressure, act with grace. I mean, that is even just I'm grateful to know you and to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thanks so much for hopping on, Niccie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are doing good work in the world, and Launch Your Legacy is a huge thing that got me to where I am, because this really is all about legacy. It's all about leaving the world with a message that we can take as many people with us when the game is over, and we don't know when that's going to be. So we just
Yeah.
have to keep working every day. So thank you for the work you do, and thanks so much for stopping over today.
Oh, I am pleased to. In fact, I see some really cool folks already commenting. And those of you on, we know Facebook, we love it, but this is YouTube and everywhere when you're on StreamYard. And so if you can like or comment, just say where you're from, maybe just put your state down or anything. But I am curious, what is like your ideal person? Like, if I can share your book, I bought 2. So if I can share your book with anyone, who would you want me to share it with?
I would
Like, what's
share it with that person who maybe is either struggling, they're just overwhelmed, and they're trying so hard and nothing's working. And I would share it with that person. And I would also, we'll talk about this more later, but that person who may have wandered away from their faith, they're not really sure that they even believe anymore, because
Yeah.
there's been so many things that have just gotten us off track in our world, and people are doubting whether God is even with us. And
Yeah.
yes, anybody
Yeah.
like that for sure.
That's awesome. I just want to give a shout out to all these people who are literally
Yes.
commenting, Oklahoma, Boston. They're all from everywhere. And Nebraska, you're close to me, Anissa. Oh, you're really
Yes.
close to both of us, I guess. But yeah. So I think that's really good. So life purpose. And, my
Yes.
story is probably like a lot of people's, I think, where we lived a good life. We had good
Yep.
jobs. We were taught to be nice. We were taught to show up at church and maybe even pray. I always get a kick out of it. Like, I was taught to pray for supper. I don't know if my mom just thought breakfast and lunch wasn't that important or what, but I just think, man, once I really learned how to do the things you teach people to do, it changed my life, like
Right.
going all in. But sometimes we don't even know that we're not going all in. We don't know what all
Right.
is out there. And you do that for people. You give them this look at life that they would have never had. And I want that. That's why I wanted to help you so bad, because I know that what you're doing is good.
Oh, thank you, Niccie. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Love you, girl.
Yep.
Thank
See you
you.
guys.
Happy
Way
New
to
Year.
go, Neil and Vonda. You pulled it together. This thing is going to go great now. You're off to a good start. I'll see you
We are.
later.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
What kind words from Niccie, right? I mean,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I love that. I love that energy that she just brought in. Right?
Right.
I
Right.
mean, that's some good stuff. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Okay. So where do you think we should go? Should we go back to the questions? Should we hop on? And do you think people want to see that video, or do we want to trail
I
them
want to see
along
that
a
video
little?
again. Can I see it again? I watched it again before the launch, but I want to see it again because I can't get enough of it. Yeah, let's watch the video.
Let's do the video. I love it. I haven't seen it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we there, Liz? We'll give her a minute.
Has twisted God's truth. We've believed lies and created false identities that have left us feeling empty and unfulfilled. We've taken God's gifts and turned them into idols, hoping they would fill our lives in a way only He can. Our souls long for more peace, more fulfillment, more truth. It's time to see that the things we've turned to are pulling us away from our true purposes and desires. It's time to return to the foundation of our faith, look at the world from a different view, and live the life our souls long for. It's time to live our more. Are you ready?
That was good. It still gives me chills. Does it give you chills?
It does. I'm laughing because my son Tye, who we'll all meet here a little bit later, helped me with that. And we spent so much time getting the timing just perfect at that very end where the gal faces the camera.
Right.
And it was out of sync. I don't think you probably noticed, but we spent so much time making sure that it said, "Are you ready?" right when she flashes her face around, and it didn't line up there. But you know what, folks? Go back and watch it again sometime. I'm going to post it out there.
It's
but
worth the watch. It's worth the watch.
To me, it's a great summary of what the book is about and how we truly need to live our more, which really is bottom line. I'm going to tell you guys a secret right here, right now. The bottom line of living your more is living your faith, living out the trust in God that we can have, and just know that everything's going to be okay, even if the first 10 minutes of your biggest event of the year turns out to be a crazy thing, which, guys, I already figured out it was my fault. Whoops. Anyway, we're good.
Well, I still think this question needs to be asked and answered. So can I submit that? I know it wasn't, it's a little off script, but I think it's such a powerful question. And that is, what was the hardest chapter to write for you?
Oh, that's an easy answer.
Oh, it is. Okay. I thought it'd be a hard answer. Okay.
No. The chapter on tolerance was really hard for me. And the reason for that is because I talk about sin, and I call out specific sins and specific life choices that we are being told is okay. And even from the pulpit, there are people that are saying, this is a lifestyle choice. God changed his mind on that. He didn't really mean that when he said that in the Bible. And so I call that out. And I talk specifically. I mean, I have people that I really, really love that are making some of those choices. And so I had to, and I struggled with it for a long time, but it was weird how, as I was in the process and taking that step, day after day, getting the words on the paper, truly the Holy Spirit just fed me the right verses and took me to the reminder that there is forgiveness for all of us. There's not a one of us out there that is above the need for salvation and forgiveness for all of our sins. We sin all day, every day, and we have a tendency to think that some are worse than others, and they're not. So it's funny how that chapter that was the hardest to write kind of in itself turned out to be probably the most beautiful one in the book.
Do we have time for one more question, or do you?
We have lots of time. So okay. Yes.
All right. Well, the other question that comes to my mind, I personally have never written a book. Never have.
Yeah.
But
You don't even like to read them. Let's
I
be
don't even like
honest.
to read books. Let's be honest. Yeah, that's true. That also is a true statement. But my question to you is tell me the writing process, because for me, as a podcast host, I kind of know that. I know the podcast kind of rhythm and routine, but help me with the writing process. What is that like for you?
I had this in my mind that I was just going to sit down and write a book, and life kept getting in the way. And I could have snippets of time where I would make some really good progress, but then I could go for weeks and not really get anything done. And what I realized is that um, I had this expectation that I could only write if I had hours at an end to do it. And once I learned that I could um, just sit down and write when I had time and put the pieces together and move things around. It didn't have to flow in order as you're writing it. That was huge. So to me, the process really is just writing those ideas down. I used a app, if you will, called Scrivener that helped me put everything, so it's like I organized things by concept and then I moved them around. And I think it's just really important to get the ideas down, move them around as you need to. And then once you get those together, you go through and you organize and you reorganize and you have people read it for you and give you feedback. And I had some really great people, some of who are here today, that helped me through that editing process. So yeah, you edit and then you edit again, and then you get with the publisher and you put it out there. I mean, we don't have time to go into all of it, but it can be very tedious and very, very detailed. And I loved every bit of it. Yeah.
What's the one thing you hope somebody takes away from your book?
That God placed a calling on each and every one of our hearts. And it's like we have our calling and then we have our purpose. And our purpose is really basically all the same. It's to love and honor him and to bring people to him. Our calling is how we do that. And we can do that in so many ways. And one of the things that I really want people to take away from is wherever you are right now, you're there for a reason. And God can use wherever you are and whatever your talents and skills are to accomplish his purpose. You don't need to be, you don't need more training. You don't need more of anything. You don't need to be anything that you aren't already. He can use you right where you are. And when you can change your perspective and look at the world from how am I serving the person he brought to me today, and just love on those people. And I have to learn that lesson over and over again. But if people can do that, I really think we can make an impact on the world, because there are a lot of lives that need to be touched. And each and every one of us that are on this call and listen in the future have a role to play in that.
Yeah. I think that's so powerful to think about, that really a book really can change lives. And I think so many times, especially, for somebody who doesn't love to read like myself, it gives me the encouragement that there are things that can change lives, such as books. So just a little bit, trying to be funny there, but
Yeah. They really can. And sometimes, but the thing is you may not be writing a book, but you're telling a story. You tell a story every week. And, honestly, this book kind of started out, I was just going to throw together some of my podcast episodes, and it just turned into something else entirely.
Wow. Yeah. Do you want to bring on some more guests?
I do.
Time? I feel like it is.
I do.
All right.
What I would like to do is start out with the video from my publisher. He wasn't able to be with us today, but Kary Oberbrunner runs a company called Igniting Souls, and his mission is to ignite 1 million souls on fire for Christ. And it's such an honor to be a part of a company like that. And anyway, I invited him. He did an endorsement for the book that's in the book, and I have some other really great endorsements from people that weren't able to join us today. So check those out, because I'm so blessed to have gotten those. But he did do a quick video for us today. So Liz, if you would show that would be really awesome.
Privilege of serving as Vana Johnson's publisher. And I am just so pleased and excited for her new book. In fact, I just want to read a little bit about it. I jotted some notes down. But her book, A Different View, listen to the subtitle: Start Living the Life Your Soul Longs For. I love that subtitle because my passion in life is to ignite souls. And I do believe that our soul does long for something that the world can't provide. In fact, I think it was C.S. Lewis who said that if your soul can find no satisfaction in things of this world, quite possibly you were made for a different world. I love that. It's been something that stuck with me forever, as I can remember it even today. But Vana's book is just fantastic, and here's a little bit about it. Of course, she's releasing it very soon, but here's her passion. She wants to demonstrate how the world has twisted God's truth and is shaming us into embracing a culture that keeps us from experiencing the life God intended us to live. Wow. What a bold book. And so even though I can't be at her launch party physically, I just wanted to create a very short video that says, I'm incredibly proud of you, my friend. And I want to applaud your expertise, your passion, and your competence for tackling such a big topic. This book is epic, and I'm proud of you, and we are all proud of you. And it's my deep honor to serve as your publisher. Thanks, and keep igniting souls.
That's so profound to me. The keep igniting souls. I just think that that's just such a powerful statement and such a powerful calling. It almost reminds me of Jesus when he calls the disciples in the Great Commission in Matthew 28. When he says, therefore, go into all the world and preach the gospel, teaching them to obey all things. And lo, I am with you always until the end of the age, right? He's empowering them to go and do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I hear him say in that, what I hear Kary say in that is, Vana, you've now been empowered to go and do this. How does that make you feel?
It's very humbling. And then I remember that everybody is called to do this, that just because I wrote a book doesn't make me any more special than the guy at the bagging groceries at the grocery store. I was thinking about this a while back, and I hadn't really thought about talking about it, but we all kind of grapple with this idea that we have influence over the people in our lives. And sometimes we get to see what that looks like, and sometimes we don't. And I think about the movie or the TV series on Netflix, The Queen's Gambit, and I think about that janitor. He had no idea when he took that little girl aside and taught her to play chess that she would become the master through the whole chess world. And yeah, that's fictional story, but it's I think that can happen and has happened throughout history time and time again. We don't know the impact of the actions and the words that we share. And so we just all have to own our own responsibility and take accountability and not be afraid to do the things that God's asking us to do.
Yeah, I just, again, I think that's such a powerful thing to think about, that people truly are empowered to carry out God's, message. He's done it. He's done it for so many. But what happens if an individual is listening right now and is saying to themselves, that's all great for Vana, that's great for others, that's great for them, but that's not me. Like, I'm not skilled. I don't have any skills. I don't have it. Woe is me. They're kind of having an Eeyore party, what if if you will. But what would you say to that person right now that maybe is feeling the most discouraged because they don't feel like they're in that right calling or in that right passion lane?
A couple of things. One, they may just be looking at it from the wrong perspective, but it also may be a matter of they aren't fully aligned with the priorities that God wants them to have in their life. And when we wander away from Scripture, when we get away from the church and other people who are walking in the Word, it's easy for us to believe things that aren't true. And so if somebody's believing that they have no value or they aren't capable of sharing, that tells me that they're unplugged somewhere and they need to get plugged back in and start working towards listening to what God has to say. That's part of it. Our world is so busy and we're all hitting the ground running and just there's all the things. And when we're too busy to stop and read our Bible and pray, we're too busy. Because anytime I thought that I was too busy to do those things, once I got back to it, I realized that God makes room for all the other things if we make room for him.
You bring up that word busy, and for me, when I hear that, it's like a red alarm that's going off, like a five alarm fire or something like that. That's what comes to my mind. And years ago, this older lady in our church, I think she played the organ. That tells you how long ago this story is, because I grew up in hope that's okay to say, Southern Baptist church. Whoa, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she told me, and this was back when we were forwarding emails around. Again, that kind of tells the story a little bit, right? But she said she sent me this email forward, and it said, busy, being under Satan's yoke.
Mm.
When we say we're busy, or when I say I'm busy, I'm basically declaring that I'm under Satan's yoke. And I got to be honest with you, I really try hard not to say I'm busy anymore, because I don't ever want to be, considered being under Satan's yoke. And so when you said that, that's what resonated in my heart when you're saying that you were busy.
A big part of the book is, I start out talking about how we're all looking for peace and fulfillment in our lives. And when we get away from that thought of being busy all the time and really find the peace that God wants for us, that's when we're getting in alignment with his will.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. Should we bring on another guest?
I think we should. Absolutely.
Right, who do you want to bring on next?
I would say let's talk. Let's bring on Tye.
All right.
Yeah.
There he is.
Gotta unmute yourself.
Now, Tye, help me out with this. You are Vana's son. Is that right?
That's correct. As far as I know, people tell me that we look a lot alike. So I've always been around her. I'm pretty sure that that's my mom. Very proud of her.
Now, in this day and age, we sometimes have to ask for ID cards or like birth certificates, or you don't need to flash any of that. We're good. We're going to take you at your word. But Tye, what role did you play in this book, and what roles do you feel like you want to maybe say to your mom in this moment? Because this is a big moment for her.
Well, I think, my role started from way, way before the book was even written. And, ever since she made that tough decision, 9 months before I was born, I think my role started from that point on. In the literal sense, with helping editing the book, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. We got to have a lot of fun conversations about things that I started to realize and how my perspective of everything started to change. And I got so excited to be a part of it. And at one point, I think we had a conversation, about how, if this book is really going to be something for others. And I just thought, Mom, if I'm the only person that gets anything out of this book and has had the effect that it has on me, then that's enough. But I don't know the word that I'm trying to express. I just know that there are going to be lots of other people out there that this book is truly going to change the way they look at the world around them, and how we really do have a purpose that we always maybe kind of knew that we had, but we didn't quite know how to make it happen. And I could go on for days. This isn't my show. So I hope that that's enough for now.
Yeah.
If anybody wants more, we can definitely have those conversations later.
I do. I just have one question before we maybe turn it back over to your mom. What is one thing you are going to remember most about your mom that she has taught you?
I think, I don't know, I went just right off the top of my head. I remember when I would get in trouble, she would send me to my room, and, you know, we would be upset, or mostly me be upset. But I always knew that just a little bit later, she would come and we would talk about it. And we would figure out why those upset things, you know, those upsetting things happened. And I learned how to reflect on my actions and try to just become a better version of myself. And I think, you know, that said, that's really what a big part of what God wants for us is to always do better, you know, just that salvation piece. And yeah, I'm sure there's plenty more that just happened to be right there when just sparked. So
yeah, no, that's good. That's a good one. Well, the other thing I was going to ask you, Tye, is what was life like for you before the book and maybe even a little bit after the book?
that's actually probably where I was headed earlier. So great question. Yeah. So before the book, I always kind of I was always proud of my relationship with God. I knew that I had a strong faith. I knew that there was a while there where I didn't go to church. I still to this day have not been an avid reader. Well, not still to the day. Before the book, reading different Bible verses and diving into the Bible, I was under the impression that my relationship with God was strong enough that I didn't need anything else. You know, not that stuff was bad, but I was just good. After reading the book, or while reading the book, I realized that even though I had that great relationship, I was going about it all wrong. And the way that I knew that was true, is because I was still fearful of the things that were going on in the world. I was worried. I was, money focused and trying, how are we going to get out of debt? How are we going to make things better? And finally, when it finally just, that shift happened, all of that weight on my shoulder was gone. I didn't have a worry. I didn't have any more fear. And what it was is I finally really just surrendered myself to God. And I think that was really the biggest part of what my relationship with God was missing, and having that trust in God. So I really am so excited to be able to share this with others, and I hope that they can get something out of this book.
Vana, can we ask him one more question, then we'll move on to another guest? Is that all right?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Tye, how much of a role did your mom play in your spiritual development?
I don't even know. I mean, I think between her and my dad, without them, I don't know where I would be. I wouldn't, just having two great people raising a son the best they can. They did a great job, I think. So I don't know how to answer that, really.
I think you just did. I really do. I think you just did. Vana, what would you want to say to Tye in this moment?
Cal, I am so proud of Tye. I put a post out earlier, I guess it was yesterday, and I've always been proud of Tye. I've always known that God was going to use him in a special way, and he is, because he's working with kids who are going to have very limited opportunities throughout their lives, and he's giving them hope and opportunities. And I loved how he said in the foreword of the book about how that decision I made to keep the life that was inside of me didn't just impact him and me. It impacted all of the lives that he touches every single day as well. And that's how we all are. We don't really realize that. But one of the things that just really struck me is it can sound really well for me to say, oh, I wrote this great book, and my son gave a really nice introduction to it, and it really changed his life. And it's even nice for him to be able to say, I can really see a difference. But a true tell was the day I got a text from his wife who said, you just got to know Tye has completely changed his whole attitude, his whole approach to everything. And he didn't give you the context, but in the times that we've been in the last couple of years with all the turmoil and all the everything, Tye was like, he was my source, because I don't watch the news anymore, but he was telling me everything that was going on and all the conspiracy theories. And I mean, I was getting it all. And there were times when I was just like, but God wins. And he would be kind of like, huh? So for me to hear him say, that the book helped him realize what I was trying to say all along, and that, yep, we need to be aware of the things that are happening in our world. We can't just dig our head in the sand and forget about it, but we can trust that God will bring us all to the completion. Is just, my friend Christina just said, trusting God and surrendering is key. And it is. Tye said that before. So I'm just proud of you, Tye. And I am so grateful that we got to do the work that we did on this book together. It's been a blessing to me.
Thank you.
Well, what a lasting legacy too,
Yeah.
To pass that legacy torch on to a future generation. Tye, I don't know if you have kids or not. I don't know you that well. We just met, today. 3. Okay, awesome. So, but what a lasting legacy, right? To pass along to them, and then them passing along. I mean, I could just imagine the great grandchildren of Vana Johnson picking up this book and reading it and going, man, great grandma, man, she was a character, but we love her, and look what she left us. That to me is so powerful. So
that would be awesome.
I was actually explaining to Dietrich, my oldest, that the reason that I was kicking him out of the house was so it was really quiet. And he's like, well, what are you doing? And I said, I'm going to help Nana sell or launch her book. And Nana's coming? He's like, no. So I explained that I was over the computer. And he's like, Nana has enough books for the whole world to have. I was like, not yet, but hopefully. So,
but like I said, what a great legacy. So Tye, thank you for being here today. Thank you for the words that you shared. Vana, is there anything you'd want to say to him? Or
we've got lots more conversations to come. We can't carry on today, or folks will we can. And that's one of the cool things about it, is this is not the end. This is the launch celebration, but we're going on and on and on and on. And I just want to continue to have conversations with people everywhere, and go meet with people and do Bible studies and whatever we can do to get the word out, because truly this is just the beginning. So
that's so great. Absolutely. So should we move on to Mandy?
Let's. Thanks, Tye.
Tye, thanks so much, bud. Take care. Be well.
Thank you. You too.
All right. So this is Mandy. Now, this is a good friend of yours. She was on the support launch team. So, and there she is now. Hi, Mandy. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Mandy, I'm excited about this. So here's my question. How the heck did you two meet, you and Vana? Is that a good story or what? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, definitely God knew that we needed each other. we met through a fair, and our holistic lifestyle and the sharing of that holistic lifestyle was what got us kind of engaged with each other. And then, then I think we re-met again in the fall and had some conversation. I had the pleasure of pre-reading the book before it was even in print. And she asked for my opinion because I am younger than her and in the middle of my life. And so I had the opportunity to pre-read the book, and we have just become great friends. She's become a mentor and a woman of God that I can go to as someone who's walked before me and can guide me and help me through my journey and my process of faith. And so I'm eternally grateful that God knew that she needed to be in my life. So we've only known each other less than a year. And, I'm really grateful for that.
So Mandy, would you say you've really put yourself in Vana's shoes, just asking for a friend?
Oh, I don't know.
So the show plug for me.
Big shoes to fill.
Right, we're getting derailed.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard she wears Birkenstocks. I don't know. Inside information, probably more.
A little cold right now to wear Birkenstocks.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But Vana, what does this young lady mean to you in that connection that you now have with Mandy? I'm guessing for all of eternity, just by the way she's glowing, about you and about the book. Like, what does Mandy mean and that friendship mean to you?
Just the friendship part is, there have just been times when it's lonely. You asked about the book writing process before, and I love it. I've kind of gotten into the whole being at home, not needing to go anywhere kind of thing, but it's so nice to have someone who gets what I'm trying to share with the world, and I can bounce ideas off of, and she can be like, well, I don't know. And she's just been amazing. She's truly, we started out as friends and we'll always be friends, but she's also like doing a lot of virtual assistant type things for me, and especially with marketing and things like that, because she's just got an incredible knack for that. And so I've hired her to help me with that. But what I really love is that she gives me that perspective of that younger generation. And I talk about that in the book about, some of the new age things that so many young people are into. And really, that's why I asked Mandy to read it, because she admitted that she had kind of started following some of that. And so it was like, would you read this and tell me how someone who's there might interpret what I'm trying to say? And so that's kind of where we started. And so, yeah, she's helping me reach a whole nother community that I probably wouldn't have access to otherwise. And I'm really grateful for that.
Well, Mandy, another question I have for you is if someone's listening right now and they're really struggling with their faith and they're really struggling with maybe their identity in Christ and who they are, what would you say to them in this moment?
I think the biggest thing that I could encourage someone is to get connected to a church, get connected to a community of Christ women, and get connected to mentors. I've been very fortunate to have some really amazing mentors to walk alongside of me as I've made some steps in my faith and through my journey. And I needed someone that's gone before me to do that. And they've loved me and supported me. And that has been probably the biggest blessing in that walk is, and someone that I can relate to. My pastor's great, but sometimes he's not always attainable or relatable. He's a male and I'm not. And he's also my age. And, I need someone that's kind of gone before me and walked that out. And so I would say just getting connected and getting back to church and into a group of people. From there, it's just going to grow and it's just going to expand. And that would be the first and simplest step somebody can make. That was the first step I took. And, here I am reconnecting with my faith 5 years later and fully committed to the process and, fully committed to God. And, it's been life-changing. And so, yeah.
But imagine just for one moment, Mandy, before we let you sneak away, imagine just for a moment if you didn't have that community around you? What would life be like?
Hard. I think about, all that we've gone through the last 2 years, and I've had conversations with other people. I'm grateful for my faith, and I'm grateful for the knowledge that I have in what God is doing. And I have peace even through all the chaos, because I know that God created me for a purpose, on purpose, and for such a time as this, as well as my children. And that gives me so much peace and I don't know how people that aren't, walking it out with Christ now are doing it, because it's hard enough with God. So, like, if you don't have that peace that comes from him, it would be almost impossible. I wouldn't want to do it. So
I just think those are some powerful statements, Mandy. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Well, Vana, I don't know about you. Do we do prizes? Because I'm excited. I always like prizes. Like, I am a big fan of prizes.
We do prizes, and we kind of have a cool way to do prizes.
I'm excited. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen here. So I'm kind of on the edge of my seat. Hopefully, like everyone else is right now. But how do you want to do these prizes?
So what we're going to do is we're going to ask Liz, who I didn't get an opportunity to introduce earlier. So I'm going to do that while she's hopping on. Liz Meyer, there she is, my beautiful author podcast friend, who she's going to regret saying she'd do this for me for a long time. But
this has been awesome.
She has amazing. A great name, right? Liz is short for what? Help me with this. It's got to be short for something, right?
Elizabeth.
That is the greatest name on the planet. I'm just saying. No disrespect, Vana, but that's the greatest name on the planet.
Is that your mom's name or what?
That's my wife's name, but it's close.
Okay. Yeah, it's close. Even better.
And it feels like my mom sometimes, because she tells me what to do, like pick up my laundry, put away my toys.
If she needs to tell you that, she should, for heaven's sake.
She should. She should. Anyway, Liz, thank you for being here today.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This has been such a blessing.
Tell us, Liz, how do we do these prizes? How are we going to decide who gets to be randomly selected for the prizes we have today? Do I need to have you tell that first, and then I can tell what the prizes are so they can have time to do what they need to do? Okay.
Exactly. That would be great. So the way that this works is whatever platform you're listening to in the comments, just type the word more, MORE. Just all lowercase, nothing fancy. Just type that word, and that will automatically enter you into the drawing. And I'm going to let Vana tell you what the prizes are while you're typing more in, and then we'll run the little generator and see who wins.
So I'm just curious. We got to test something first. Can we hear this?
Yes.
Are we hearing that okay? All right.
Yes.
I brought sound effects. All right. Maybe some laughter. We have a laugh track too. All right. So I'm ready for some applause when we have a winner. So you'll just have to like wave so I know. All right. So Liz, are you ready? Or Vana, I guess you're doing it. And Liz,
I'm gonna introduce what the prizes are. So everybody get busy and type your more in. And I just want to, first of all, thank everybody for being here. I haven't had, because of everything that kind of getting us started, I didn't get a chance to pull up. And so I haven't seen all your names. I talked to a lot of people that I knew were planning to be here, and I've seen some that have commented pop up, but I just thank you. Thank you for being here. I'll go back and watch the video and see the comments and everything later, but just thank you. So basically what I want to do is I have a couple of different things. I have, of course, can't do this without the book, right? So we're going to have one autographed, I don't know where the camera's at, one autographed copy of the book. And then I just grabbed a couple of journals that are close to my branding. These are going to be Live Your More journals. So I got a couple of those. And then
I don't have a drum roll. Sorry.
Yeah, the grand prize. And this is something. So guys, when Niccie was on earlier, she helped me immensely to get some of the titles of the chapters and things organized. And that really became the basis for my programs. It's like I've shifted all of my coaching over to follow a different view perspective, or my tagline is Live Your More. And so it's my Live Your More process, which talks about what's missing in our life, creating order in the chaos, redefining our priorities, and then living our eternal purpose. That's what more is all about. And so I'm creating an online self-study book course. And then I've also got a mastermind that goes with that. I have a mastermind that's standalone that I've always had that I have to continue because I love my mastermind community. And then one-on-one coaching. And that's all. You can find that all at a different view book.com. So if you want to dig more into that, I'm not making this into a sales pitch. But the reason that I'm telling you about that is one person whose name is drawn, and we'll make this the last one. The one person who's drawn is going to receive that mastermind that includes the online self-study. That's a $700 value, guys. And I'm going to offer that and some of the other stuff, some discounts when we get closer to the end. I'm going to give you some codes that you can use if you're interested. If you don't win, and I'm sorry if you don't, but not everybody can. But anyway, and again, I'm in the process of making the study, so we're just going to make it work. I have learned, if I've learned nothing else, that I just have to do things with grace and in God's timing. I was literally going to record my audiobook this week, and then God said, no, you're just going to lay on the couch for 3 days and be miserable. So yeah, I did. And look we're still here and it's beautiful anyway. So that book will get recorded and we'll talk about that later. So does that give you enough time, my friend, to come up with some names, or how we doing?
Yes. So if you didn't hear earlier, type the word more in the comments. We have several people who have already entered. And while y'all are typing the word more, I'm going to go over to our giveaway tool, and you guys will get to actually see it randomly generate something.
Okay.
Ooh, I love this.
Cool.
So good.
All right. So we have 6 people entered so far. So
Yeah.
are we ready for the
right.
first
Man,
one?
your odds are good, man.
Yeah. Can you
Can
see?
the odds be ever in your favor?
Right.
There you go. Can you see the tab? Is it showing on your screen where the
I
drawing?
do not see a tab.
You're not seeing it. Okay, hang on just a second. I realized what I got to do here. There we go. Okay. And let me put it in the, add it to the stream.
There we go. There we
Ooh,
go.
there
All right,
we go.
now you can see it. Okay.
Now
Are
you
you
can
ready?
see.
Oh, we have 7 entries. Okay,
All
so
right.
it's not too late because you have 4 things to give away. So
Yep.
you can still enter in the word more, but we're going to go ahead and draw for the first one. Is this is for the book, or what's the first one for?
Yeah, let's make this for the book.
Okay.
And it's autographed, right? They get an autographed copy
Absolutely.
of the book. That's very
personally autographed.
Personally
have their
autographed.
name. Yes.
I really like personally autographed books.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna hit the draw button now, and it's going through the names of the people who wrote the word more in
So
there.
much pressure.
Carolyn Cheer is the winner. Very good. So,
all right, yay! Congratulations, Carolyn. And I'm so glad you made it. She was like long story, but anyway, we just got her in under the wire right before the thing started. So I'm so glad you made it, and congratulations. We'll get connected later so I can get your address and mail that to you. So
okay.
All right,
awesome.
let's now do the teal journal.
The journal. All right, the teal journal. So I'm going to hit the draw again button, and then we'll scroll through the names again and see who wins this time. Marilyn Patterson is our winner of the teal journal.
All right, congratulations, Marilyn, and I know how to get that to you. So awesome. And then the next is the marble journal.
Ooh, the marble journal.
Ooh, I like that. Sounds fancy. All right, so we're going to draw again for the marble journal.
Oh, wait.
We have she won twice. Do we want to?
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So a book and a journal, Carolyn.
All right.
That's called a double score where I'm from.
Yeah, right.
The double score.
Okay, now for the big prize. I don't have anything to show for that right now, but for the mastermind and the study group, let's see who it is.
All right. The big grand prize. Yay, Yvette.
Oh,
She is the winner. So awesome.
Yay.
Congratulations, Yvette.
Wow, that is
Awesome.
awesome. That's a great value. That's a
Yeah.
great price too. That's huge. Masterminds are amazing. So
I am so excited that I'll get to do that with Yvette. So this is going to be amazing. So just give me a minute on the whole mastermind thing, because I don't know
Yeah.
that everybody understands what that means.
Yeah, that's good.
And really what it comes down to in my mastermind anyway, and you guys, mine is so affordably priced because I really want everybody to come in. But it's, the one is just to kind of go along with the book, and it's all tied into the book, but it's really about living our faith. And even the people who have been talking here today have talked about, so it's like, yes, I'm doing all the things, but sometimes it's just hard.
Yeah.
And a mastermind is that place where we can come together and help each other out. We can give each other encouragement and support, whether it's from our home life, our work life, just understanding why God is saying no right now when we've done everything we thought we should, to get him to say yes, because we're going to try and make him do what we want him to do.
Right.
But anyway, so it's just, I would love to, have a conversation. If you're curious and not sure if it's right for you and something you're thinking about, let me know. Let's talk about that. So if you don't mind, Neil, I'm just going to go ahead and yes, congratulations to everybody. Jane just said, I appreciate that. Congratulations.
Sure.
I want to just take a few minutes. And this isn't the end, but I want to thank the people.
Well, I was just going to ask you that. So it's great that you were segueing. We're on like the simpatico mind meld right now, right? So who do you want to thank? Who are some amazing people that you couldn't have done this without them? You can't build a house without a foundation. Who are those foundational people for you?
It's we've already talked to some of them. We won't go back over that again. It's really funny, but my husband comes to mind when you say it that way. And it's so funny because he hasn't read the book. He hasn't, he's always kind of kept a safe distance away from my coaching and my work. Not that he isn't proud of me. I'm not really sure what it's all about, but he's been so supportive of me, and I couldn't have done it without him. And so, I just thank God for him every day. So there's that. And then also, there are all the people who helped in the writing and the publishing process. And I'm just going to say right now, there's a bunch of them. They're listed in the acknowledgments in the book. And so I'm not going to go through all of that right now because people have places they want to go. We're at an hour now. So, but I do want to thank Mandy. She has been such a blessing on this process. And I know that, like you said, friend for eternity. Kim Avery, she was going to be here today. She had some things come up and wasn't able to, but I talk about Kim in the book. She has the prayer-powered entrepreneur. I'm a prayer-powered mastermind facilitator based on her prayer power process and everything. And she's an incredible woman. I want to thank Kim Stewart of I can't think of the name of her podcast, but she's got a beautiful podcast just for authors, and Marketing Mania podcast, and it's incredible. And she's just been so supportive of me. Pat Heusman, one of my fellow church goers, and she has been at everything, and been just such a huge supporter of the process in the book. Jane Bray, who is here today. Jane has been so encouraging, and she's let me know, if things aren't working. Pat's done that too. She's gone through the 4-day mini course I created, and she's like, this thing doesn't work. So folks, when you find something like that, let me know. I appreciate it. Marty Martin, good friend of mine. He was an accountability partner of mine. He's been so supportive and reviewed everything I've done. Sheila Sattler is one. She went out and did a book review for me. Chantal and is also one. And a couple of people that have gone out and done reviews on Amazon for me. Guys, it's hard for me to ask for favors. And so those people who are willing to do it without me having to specifically go and say, I want you to say, no, that Liz released her book after mine. She has like 10 or 20 times more reviews than I do because she's good at asking. So I admire that in her. So anyway, Chantel gave a beautiful review. I think that, of course, Kary Oberbrunner in his beautiful video, Niccie for stopping in. That was great. Liz, again, I couldn't have done this without her, literally. Tye, Neil, couldn't have done it without you. This has been so much fun. Thank you.
My pleasure. So Vana, what would be, I always like to put people in a stadium setting, you know, when I end my show, but this isn't my show. This is your show. But if somehow, some way we could get you on the biggest platform on the planet. Now I know that's out in Michigan. It's a little place called Ann Arbor. They have the big house. They have 102 people, 102,000 people. So somehow we get you on that big M in Michigan. I don't know, but that's a lot of people in that stadium.
That's a lot of people.
What do you say in that moment? Because you don't know where this is going to reach. You don't know how many people are going to play this back, nor do I. But what would be your last thought for them?
Folks, I mentioned it earlier that we don't know. First of all, I talk about we don't know what we don't know, and we don't realize the impact that we make on people's lives. But it's hard for me to say it, but this book is, Neil, you said it at the beginning, it's an important piece of work, and we should be sharing it. I've got people that have shared it with a ton of people, but whether you buy the book and give it to somebody, or you just talk about it with somebody, or you just live the message and share the words that not in the book, but the words from the book, just step out, get over yourself, have courageous faith, and God will give you the words. But tell everybody you know. I talk about in the book how I lost a cousin and I didn't know if she was saved the day I found out she died. And I made a vow that I was never going to do that again. And I have, but I don't want to do it ever again. So that's my message: is we are the Great Commission. We need to go make it happen.
Awesome. Vana, I just want to say thank you to you. You allowed me to do this for you. You're such a sweet lady. And I just love what you're doing. I love your work. I love everything that you're a part of. And I just wish you great success in your book. I know you have some big things coming up in January. Just real quick before we let folks go, what's that last thing you'd want to say in January that's coming up?
Well, I have a couple of things. So, yes, in January, I'm going to be interviewing Liz about her book. And so that'll be on the podcast. So, go watch the replay, share it with your friends. It's on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. I'm going to make a podcast about this. I'll kind of shorten it up and put some episodes out there. Invite people to take a look at my online study courses, my masterminds, all of that. And I just want to remind you that the message is meant to be shared, and sometimes that's hard. So the courses and the things like that will make it easier for you to do that. And if you're interested in those courses, I just want you to know that if you go online to adifferentviewbook.com and you look at all that's there, towards the bottom of that page is the summary of the pricing and all of that. It's $50 off of the online study course or the mastermind, which they come together. $50 off of either of those, or $250 off the one-on-one coaching if somebody would just rather do that. So I just would love it if people wanted, just jump in and do that. If you have any questions, the coaching in the regular mastermind requires a conversation just to make sure it's a good fit, because we don't want to get people that aren't in alignment with the truth. So there we are. But anyway, yeah.
Well, I think we need to say this too. Where can people get the book? We haven't really ever said that at all, I feel like. So where can people go get this amazing book? They can add it to their library, not only add it to their library, but maybe give it to a friend, colleague, whoever. Where can they go?
Yeah. So of course, VanaJohnson.com, you can find all that stuff. And there's, pages and all of that. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. And then also, ask your local bookstore. Tye and I had this conversation earlier. Ask your local bookstore about it. If they aren't carrying it, maybe they would get it for you, and maybe they would get it for other people in your community. Because if I want them to get a piece of this. You can get it from Amazon and you'll pay the same, but your bookstore will get a cut of it if you buy it from them. Locally here, it's at the Alley Exchange. And I have some copies. I have a book signing at the library Monday night. Come and join me. I've got some there. And people think about, I mentioned just briefly, but people are talking about doing Bible studies. If you do a Bible study, if you're within driving distance, I'll come and visit your group sometime. I'll at the very least hop on online if I can, just to say hello. So yes, in fact, if you live on the beach, I don't care, if it's warm and I can get sun, I will come and do a whole study with you because, gal, I would love to do that. No, I really, it's important to get the word out. Folks, we were created for so much more. Our souls are longing for more of God and more of Jesus in our lives. And so start living that life that your soul is longing for, please.
Very powerful stuff. Well, with that, I think we say goodbye, right?
We do. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's been beautiful.
For watching, everyone. Tune in to what Vana's doing. It's a different view. If you need a different view, you need to go get that. Go get your eyes checked because you need a different view. With that said, I'm Neil Matthews. This is Vana Johnson. We'll see you next time.
Go live your more, folks. Love you. Bye.